Yeah, that's connected to this other one here. So let me connect that here. Well, again, you know, mostly what smells the body are the dairy products and the cheeses, the animal products. You start smelling like animals. And I suggest getting far away from animal products here and really move your lymph system, sweetheart, and get yourself smelling good again. Your lymph nodes can hold all these proteins and get you stinking and the urine stinking and every part of your body stinking. But to get every part of your body fresh and deodorized like fruit, then you need to go on a fruit and berry diet. Follow the diet recommendations here. This is a health club we're involved in here, so this is our diet recommendations: fruits, berries, and melons through the day and a salad at night. If you want to get stricter, do fruits and berries and melons all day. Forget the salad. This is detox. And remember, detox is a little different than what you would normally do. What you normally do, you all are all hooked to many websites on raw food eating, raw food preparations. I like to keep it simple. I don't really go into preparing all these exotic raw dishes. Half of them don't even taste good to me, especially when you use the cruciferouses. High cabbage and high broccoli and cauliflower only serves for gastric distress. So there's a lot of restaurants that you know, health food restaurants, I think, could do a lot better job. But with that said, I like the simple bowls of fruit and salads. Cut and pick and peel. I mean, don't spend a lot of time preparing your food sources. Go on and have fun meditating or out-of-body traveling. It'd be better for you. Well, here's question number 3. Looks like a bit of a long thing here. Let me see if I can find... I don't find the other connecting link to this. Can I cancel an e-bill payment? Answer generally, oh, I guess this is somebody's out there. Question, Dr. Morse, when it comes to using the adrenal glandulars, what is the max amount of time you would put someone on them? Well, it's a good question. I probably have had people on them well over a year, 2 years, generally speaking. I kind of teeter off with those when I see the blood pressure's up close to 120, 118 over. I like to, you know, and I feel a good heartbeat when you check your blood pressure, then I'm pretty good with that. Basals, again, with the thyroid, your basals are up at least 97.5 or 6, at least that. Should be 97.8 minimally. You know, so there's a lot of areas we check and make sure your symptoms are gone and you're feeling better in these respects. The glands seem to be picking themselves up, and then I can shuck them and go to the herbs. But I've had some real serious, and I think I told you a case of a psychiatrist, very famous man who wrote a lot of books, totally fried himself, and so he was popping those glandulars like candy, and I was like freaking that he was going to have a heart attack, but he came out of it. They pulled him right out of it. There's not a nerve on the planet going to pull. He was fried like a piece of chicken. And so, but he was popping 6, 4, and 5 times a day of all the hot ones and stuff, and I just could not believe it. But he was, you know, a medical doctor, let him control his own world, and he came out of it, pulled himself out of it. Now he's back in the straddle again, helping people, and he helped himself, and so hopefully he'll use what he learned here to help his people instead of sticking on antidepressants and crap like that. What are the dangers of staying on them too long? Overactivity of a gland, too much stimulation of a gland, of the cells of a gland, and that's, you don't over need to do it. They'll wake up. So that's the problem. On the thyroid, you'll know right away because your heart will start racing. So, yeah, I don't like to overdo them. At the same time, we've got some, as you see, excuse me, we have some real chronic, that was a watermelon, a real chronic, I did find a fairly decent watermelon at the grocery store. But keep going down that road. I wanted to ask you about amino acid. There are 9 our body doesn't make. Which ones are essential? How do you recommend getting the ones that are? You know, I don't think in those terms. I left that kind of thinking a long time ago because it doesn't fit with nature in any way. I really am seriously simple. Seriously simple. Because the mind is just way out there, and there's so many theories and concepts that I just don't buy into it anymore. I don't look at a piece of flesh. Matter of fact, there's been some latest research that suggests that the liver can produce amino acids out of glucose. So I don't know what to tell you with that. The liver is a major biological transmutation organ. It's constantly transmutating chemistry from one element to another, or from one constituent to another. So really, I just don't follow that thinking of the essential amino acids. I think it's ridiculous. It keeps man hooked back to meat eating again, or beans and all that stuff like that. And none of that is saying it has any actual rationale for a Homo sapien in terms of health. Well proven to see the herbivores and the frugivores much healthier, much more endurance, much more vitality, a lot less need for sleep. I mean, you can go less stinky, all kinds of things when you look at these kind of animals. So I don't fall into that realm, guys. I'm very simplistic. So be prepared, because I need to keep pulling you back to simplicity, because if you get too much into this way, you'll lose helping people. You'll start putting them on things that they shouldn't have, because you're trying to get the basic 11 essential amino acids and stuff, and it's like, no, I don't work in that way. What's essential is glucose or fructose. That's what's essential. Carbon and oxygen. We need some amino acids for carriers and some building blocks, but in reality, we don't know the extent of all that. I see a muscle put on by protein, and I see a muscle put on by amino acids. Green amino acids like alfalfa. I can tell you the difference is stronger, more flexible, and the body stays acidosis free. So big difference. I've always thought, even though a cat has very powerful claws and teeth, an ape can rip one apart given the opportunity. So I don't fall into those amino acid thinking. I don't use them as supplements by any stretch of the imagination for anything, including for herpes or anything like that would even smack of a protein against a protein. That's not what the gig is there. So sorry, my friend, I don't get into that, nor would I. You'll be trying to crush your food, and that's not what nature does. Kid Raw. Like the name, Kid Raw 38. You are, oh, thanks, man. I love you. You're a 19-year-old male. 19 years old, tearing it apart, guys. You got to hand it to this young man. You know, these are the higher souls coming into this planet, getting healthy in their young ages. Some of them are, I've got babies, 10-year-olds. I mean, at every age you can imagine. Look at this young man, 19 years old, tearing it up. I have been an athlete all my life. All right. I had to stop weightlifting about a year ago due to pain in my joints and connective tissue. Just what I'm talking about, man. I had also developed food allergies to wheat, dairy, eggs a few years back. I have been raw now for 6 months and have been juice fasting for the last 15 days. Congrats, man. I tell you, I'm proud of you. Good man. Good man here, girls. I started with Master Cleanse, wow, then switched to orange juice with distilled water due to acid reflux. Yeah, it is okay to switch juices, yep, absolutely. In the middle of a fast, yeah, who cares? Also, just curious, is tomato juice a variable option in a fruit juice fast? I could dig raw tomato juice, but I wouldn't. I would jump to grape juice, raw grape juice. I'd really jump over that side of the fence. Any tips would be much appreciated. Would love nothing more to have my health back and get in the gym. Well, this time when you enter the gym with what you know now to be true. And you're seeing what the protein did to your joints and connective tissue. Because remember, when you high yourself up on protein, your body's going to suck calcium out of you. Well, there goes the theory of high protein diets, because you're going to lose a lot of calcium, which is problematic. Not only do you see all the RAs, if you look at all the athletes, the most dominant issue probably is RA, rheumatoid arthritis, and bye-bye kidneys, and you just go right on down there. Cholesterol, plaquing, strokes, heart attacks, I mean, it all goes down the line. So you were very correct in pulling yourself off of that right now. Get your lymph, this is all lymph system here, so get that detoxed. Really hit it hard, even if you lose some muscles and stuff, really get that detoxed. And then hit the green juices, hit alfalfa, pump alfalfa juice. I mean, and alfalfa sprouts on your salads. Pump the green drinks and build yourself up with muscles that way. And you'll have the flexibility and the endurance too. Don't just build on muscles, build on flexibility like martial arts and the ability to run and jump and have endurance that way as well. And you're going to find that you can tap into some high levels, especially at 19. You could tap into some extreme endurance levels to where you just get tired of working out. You don't get tired, you get bored. And that's the thing, is that you want to tap into these high levels. To do that, you must remove the obstructions or resistance to the flow of energy, and proteins or acids are the most obstructive to the flow of energetics. Then following that would be calcifications, cholesterol, and all the things the body uses to buffer acids. And so all of these obstructive issues are resistance, and anytime you have resistance, then you see what happens, the loss of magnetics and energetics, etc., etc., etc. So by getting yourself pumped up and cleaned and getting everything moving well, blood, lymph, nerve flows, getting the adrenals up and neurotransmitters, woohoo, you can kick butt like nobody's business, young man. I love to see that. Family of 3 now. That tells a lot. That tells a lot right there. Well, congrats there, dear one. I need your help, and many others are suffering from my condition as well. I was going to send a message, but I do not know how with the new YouTube layout. I don't know anything about that. If you have a problem with a new YouTube layout, I don't know anything about all that, guys. So what you might do is call Chris about the YouTube layout, or if you have a question, by email it to chris@naturesbotanicals.com, I think it is. Find out what that is. I think we have it on the YouTube, and email that question. Say you're from the YouTube, he'll direct it over here. I don't put that up on YouTube. I don't know what that is. Always I have a forum. POTS again. We'll just put it that way. This stands for postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. Postural. Postural. Same thing as Kelly O'Brien. Same thing. Similar. When you have the paroxysmal tachycardia or Brady-Tachy syndromes, things like this is all controlled by the nervous system. And of course, your adrenals controls the autonomic to that, but you have a lot of control coming out of the cerebellum here. So I would really take off after that. Basically, my heart races up to 200 beats a minute whenever I stand up. That's what I'm talking about. Also, fix those adrenals. Get those kidneys and adrenals in line, dear one. Get your lymph draining down your neck and down your cerebellum here. Clean up the brain here. Clean up the adrenals. Because, again, this can also be an adrenal gland issue as well. So you want to make healthy the adrenals and kidneys. You want to clean up the bowels. Because that's even though probably wouldn't be a link. I mean, you could maybe have some, the autonomic core right here, maybe problematic, so you want to really clean that up, drain that lymph out of the head and cerebellum, so that inflammation, because when you stand up, same thing with dizziness and stuff like that, can also create the Brady-Tachy syndrome. It can actually end up going the other way as well. So really getting that lymph moving, getting that acidosis out of the body, getting up your neurotransmitters, getting myelin sheaths healthy again. Just going after your health issues, that's your main focus. That'll pull you out of pots.